All you had to do was tell me.
You would have taken Dan's side.
Say that to me again. Get off me.
Leading into episode 9, I want to talk about that family dinner we saw, I think episode 4, right? Dean, I'm going to start with you. How much do you think that experience and what was brought up and revealed that night is kind of like weighing on all of the Stabler brothers as we head into this episode?
Very much so. I mean, these kind of some secrets that came to light that have been, changing people's their worldview that they've had for 20 years. Revelations about our dad.
Good old dad. He's beating the crap out of this woman on a nightly basis.
Revelations about why I left the family and abandoned the family.
Somebody called the internal affairs and told him all the nastiness he was into. Me.
And, that kind of shakes to the core of what certainly Stabler and Joey have lived with all their lives. It was just shocking, a thing you could have hit your life in terms of revelation of what you thought was going on versus what actually happened. I think it really shook us all up.
Yeah, Michael, I'm wondering if you can speak to, the Stablers are really good at pretending stuff didn't happen, right? So on the scale of everything Joey's got going on, what do you think is at the top of his freak out list, and how close to the top of that is the family stuff?
I think it shoots up to the top because, again, for him, I think there's a lot of the elements that are a revelation to him too. Poor Dean's character, Randall, had to keep a lot of things to himself for a lot of time, and that painted himself, and I'm sure he was aware of, the perception of who he could be to us as opposed to, what actually was. And, I think coming into that dinner scene, I don't think my family dynamics were necessarily all that high on the list, considering the massive amount of lies that I'm telling. And to put myself in the company of my family is to have to face the lies each time, and to hold the secret as close as possible for fear of exposing, the shame of it and my choices. And so, up until that dinner, I think that's probably the reason why I haven't in the past even let them know that I'm in town. To be in their company is to face the prospect of having to continue to live the lie. And that's, a lot easier to avoid.
I'm wondering if you guys can just talk to me briefly about shooting that scene with everyone in the world at that table and everything that was going on. Was it chaos? How long did it take to shoot? Tell me anything.
It was a long scene. There were so many kind of interacting things. We would go off on tangents when we sometimes and just start improvising. We kind of internalized what that scene was about. And so at some point, the script didn't matter. You worked with Chris and Ellen Burstyn, you're just playing. Well, I was playing off her. He was playing, we were playing off on each other. So at some point, the script just kind of got thrown away and we just hit the main points. But in between, we were just, in the motion, in the feel of the scene. And I think, to answer your first, I think it took all day, that particular scene. So.
Michael, were you exhausted at the end of that? It seems like it would ring me out.
The one line that I was supposed to say, I can't even get out before both of them tell me to shut up. So,
why don't you two stay out of it? Okay, all right.
As an actor, to have courtside seats to the genius that is those three actors was, a bucket list type of thing. They were so good and so focused, and it was all I could do to stay present, and not sort of be out of my own body and my own character, just enjoying the experience of getting to watch these incredibly talented and veteran actors do what they do best.